Okay, we can take a look at these deck lists. Let's go over, pop them open here. We got some time. That's always a nice little benefit. We have, okay, first let's take a look. 5 ranks DB. I mean, it's good. It's good. I appreciate 5 ranks DB. They were there first. Still do a good job. It's just I'm much more used to Bushi Builder now. Okay, let's look at Caw Canadian Crane here to start. Scorpion Splash. I know Zarzuckett loves the Kill Crane deck. He's been playing it for a long time. It's definitely the one he has the most fun with, and he'll always return to. Um, we see Market of Kazi no Kami. That's an interesting choice on the province row. You don't often see that. Um, going over Revels of Rally. Um, so you just pick not on a character and bow that character. I mean, it's strong. It's on reveal only. That's kind of the big downside to it, but definitely can blunt an attack in the early game for sure. And 3 strengths. It's hard to farm it for very long. We see the splashes for 2 calling in favors, 3 Mark of Shame, which is the restricted card, so no policy debate here, which is common. Which is the common restricted card for Crane nowadays, and then Miyako, which we saw how powerful she can be in lots of games. Triple Noble Sacrifice, triple Duels to the Death, so and 2 assassinations. So lots of killy things going on here. 2 gossips to stop any sort of prevention of those things. Triple Voice of Honor, um, 3 Defend Your Honors. So we have the sort of 6 cancels, 2 pseudo cancels. We have New Yoshi to get a lot of dishonors effects on people. We have Disciple of Shinsei for like a little bit of attachment control along with the 2 calling in favors. No Steam Tea House. I like Steam Tea House. I think it's really strong. I don't think Zarzuckett agrees with me. Obviously not. We see Cunning Negotiator, which is just a rally and a duel. It's a good thing. So guys, just double check that I'm not missing any of the game here for people, or people are not waiting for me. Everyone's kind of still joining. Okay, Okay, looks like the game is started. We'll wait. No thanks. Wait for them to do their mulligans. We'll take a quick look at the Switzerland deck. So we've got a little bit, I wouldn't say traditional, but Dragon Splash is traditional, I think, for every clan. We see the policy debate is restricted cards, free let go, Ancient Master, and a Tattoo Wanderer for the splash. It has a triple story defeat. It's interesting. I like story defeat as a card quite a bit. And New Knave. It's Secret Void. So closer to like you see Crane have been playing like Worlds last year. 2 Esteemed Tea House. It's got the old Yoshi. Yeah, it's got Kaizen. It's got Kozanobu, who was popular for a while, but I haven't seen Takamori. That kind of stuff. So people might be a little more familiar with both these decks. They're duelist training. Okay, let's make sure we don't miss any of this action here. Action. This skinny leg bird action. Okay, so Kill Crane versus, I guess Efficiency Crane. You might want to call her something like that. Eye-gougingly boring. Efficient, I think is what you're looking for, Yoko Dunzo. It's very, Eric. It's very Eric, I guess. We have Canada and Zarzuck on the lower part of the screen, and Red Rabbit and Switzerland on the top part of the screen now. So Phoenix has, Switzerland has already closed out the series 4 games to 1, but still an important game for tiebreakers, for pride, for bird pride as it was. I think in general, we see some conceding. They didn't make the time. Okay, whoops. I was doing a lot of talking. I didn't notice people. Okay, they did not do the timing, so we have to go in again. Yep. Too much rambling on my part. Okay, so we have chess clocks this time. All right. Okay. Yeah, people were even pinging me in the chat to say like, hey. Okay, back. They're doing their mulligans again. Oh, Switzerland keeps all the dice. I was saying, so it's tiebreakers and bird pride. So we're back in the game again. It's only one card between both clans tossed from Dynasty, and 4, and all conflict kept by Zarzuckett. So I think, definitely just making these comments. So so the chat can chime in and tell me how wrong I am. That's cool. I don't mind that at all, actually. And but I think Marcus Shane Crane is significantly favored in this matchup. Um, of course, a lot of this depends on who can get voice control and stuff like that. But um, No Soul Beyond Reproach in Red Rabbit's deck means the Marcus James can be really harsh. Can be really hard to keep the voice action going. And I guess the policy debate, if a few policy debates can get off, that's pretty strong um, for Red Rabbit. But okay, we see a Brash Samurai come in. There's a Dowsing Duelist, so we got sort of like two ways to honor here. Honor characters, cheap characters, building up fate for the next rounds. I don't even have to look. I'm judging by that two fate buy on the Dowsing Duelist. There's no assassination in the in Switzerland Crane player's deck. With Takamori waiting in the wings. Not very many good targets for him right now on the board, but okay, so Rabbit passes opportunity. Makes sense when you're dealing with the two assassinations in your opponent's deck. You want to get your character honored, or your Brash Samurai honored, so before it can possibly get assassinated. Plus, you're making Canada attack into a Secret Void row, which is no fun at all. Rolls the dice. Pro moves to roll the dice. Can't blame. Nobody can be blamed if you roll the dice. Obviously, the Quanon Pilgrimage. Okay, so Secret Void gets a fate. Makes this a very tough sort of conflict to win. I'm guessing he might just duel and then pull out. Because now we have a 4/4 duelist. So Zarzuckett thinking it over. Opts to not use the favorable ground. Red passes conflict. Zarzuckett has a Tessin. Okay. Making this a 5/5 duelist. Can head back to Pilgrimage if he likes, or scout around. Nope, opts to go back to the same province. Tessin gets let go. Okay. I guess there's not a ton of high value let go targets in this Marcus in the Canadian Crane deck. Yep, but then that's enough to cancel the effect. I mean, it was a political conflict, so not a ton of political pumps outside of conflict character is going to happen. Or a fan, I guess. Okay, so Pilgrimage got flipped, got some Secret Fate. A little bit of action there, but boards remain largely the same. Chancellor Aid gets chucked. Keep everything on the... So we see Proving Grounds come up, which is pretty big. In this matchup, there's a lot of duels to be had, for sure. Kaizen gets popped on the board to start. We see another Dazzling Duelist come on. Zarzuckett passes. They both pass. Okay, so they're both banking a lot of fate going forward, either by really big expensive characters or by really expensive kills. Mark of Shame, Soul Beyond Reproach, Noble Sack type action on big expensive characters. So the fate will be spent eventually. Yeah, sure. I was thinking sort of the same thing. I guess you have to consider a conflict character, but I don't know, like Ancient Master coming down or something like that, something just terrible happening. But denying the Secret Void and possibly breaking Shameful Display would have been nice. Well, there you go. He would have found it. That was his next province. So we see Kaizen's going to move in on the political. So we see the Shameful go off. Now is the favorable ground going to be used here to prevent Proving Grounds and dual triggers? Nope. The Dazzling Duelist initiates the duel to start, which Kaizen wins. And Proven Ground draws a card, but the Duelist moves him up to 5 to win the favor. So gets the honor there. Kaizen was already honored, so there's not much for Red Rabbit's box to be used on right now. And it's 5 to 4 militarily for any sort of duels there. Oh, Mark of Shame comes down. We see potatoed Kaizen. And Shameful Display looking bad. But now Kaizen can duel. He can duel and leave. I think that would be a reasonable thing to do, barring anything else. I think Kaizen should probably just duel and leave. Oh, or he could weigh the crane. I mean, if he duels and leaves, he opens himself up to potential noble sack. But no, he doesn't, because he could use his box. So yeah, duel to re-honor. I meant duel to re-honor, lose, and then you get to leave the conflict. Just because you're significant. Well, yeah, you prevent the break, I guess, if you no, you don't prevent the break. So even if you re-honor, you're not preventing the break. We see defend the honor come down, but that allows the Kaizen to re-honor. Shameful still breaking. A lot of cards in hand. They just got to decide how much they want to invest in this. Dazzling Duelist could potentially bow the Kaizen and prevent Kaizen from using his own duel. Want it to go that way. But we see a new name come down in Kaizen. Still breaking. But now it's 4 military to 4 military. So court games dishonors Kaizen again. Kaizen leaves from his duel. So we're going to see Shameful break here with a fire ring, which I guess would probably going to honor the other Dazzling Duelist because the box has already been used for Canada. And also that gives voice of honor control over to Canadian Crane Zarzuckett. Okay, Red Rabbit is contemplating something here. No. So see the Bash Samurai attack in to Canada's role for the first time. Earth, solid choice. Yeah, it could come down for the noble sack. I don't even know if this Dazzling Duelist is a pretty decent choice for a noble sack here. Not the greatest, but at the same time, still would be a trade up, I think, because the new name went down on Kaizen. You don't. I don't know. Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't want to lose the Dazzling Duelist right now. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Sashiro, but it's not a really strong one. Just because Kaizen's already dishonored, so you're trading a 4/4 with a fate for a a 2 a 2/0 with 2 fate and a card. Like you have to use a card and a fate to do it. Okay, heads into manicured, blocks. Bonsai comes in for red rabbit. Try to go for the break here on the fire ring, which is pretty important to get Kaizen honored again. Oh, boom. And we get assassination. Take care of the brash samurai there. Yeah, about ready. That's an interesting point, for sure. It's not like this Canadian Crane deck is really short on kills. It's quite a few, but Miyako comes down to replace the Dazzling Duelist. And no one to dishonor, but still a 4-3 to come lumbering in on water. Yeah, probably guaranteeing the defense here. Or maybe not. If you don't think you can win, maybe you want each character to get some fade, even though it's be tough to win the attack. But back to Pilgrimage. Okay. Nope. Opts to go scouting around. Crane are such terrible people. Yeah, they're definitely not as nice as they pretend to be. Okay, hits Meditations. I mean, it's a pretty good hit for Switzerland here. At least I get to take this Miyako off the board. Uh, Kaizen defends. Puts up some defense here. He's going to prevent the break. And then the water ring really won't matter that much for Favor, but Favor was going to stay with Canadian Crane regardless. Well, except for maybe possibly dropping conflict characters. Oh, so Zarzuckett has his own bonsai. To go over the top. Meditations goes off. That's true. Yeah, meditation. Yeah, you're a good point. Meditations it just makes the noble sack better value. Are we gonna see it? Nope. Oh, nope. Miyako disappears because there's no noble sack in hand, or decided that Kaizen just wasn't worth it. We need bigger targets. Okay, we have a Kozanobu, Desmond Duelist himself, a Tea House. I mean, I guess you can use it as Mark of Shame, which you do not want to do. Kawanin, Kawanin is a brave buy, given that we've seen no noble sacks yet. But one Mark of Shame is out. It's true. And Yoshi on the other side, so he can do some definite dishonoring here. So we only have one duel Dynasty side, two duels Dynasty side for the Canadian Crane. Bide 5 bid, as you're probably going to see this entire game. Let's see what Switzerland opts to do here. Is there any reactions that I don't think so. Not in the Crane row that Kozanobu is really good for here. I mean, he could block both boxes. It's not that spectacular. Oh, it turns off Yoshi after the character wins a. Oh yeah, thank you. That's really good. Yep. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of what's a reaction. Forced interrupts. Action. Oh, it's an action. Okay. Yep. So Yoshi is big. He's huge. So he's probably gonna hang around with Kozanobu until Yoshi's used. But of course, he has to win as an attacker. Yeah. So he can definitely pick his moment when he wants to turn off the Yoshi. So capitalism ring, I would guess. I would think Earth. Earth would be a good choice. Void with the Fates, Juicy. Air, not too consequential right now. Plus, you don't want to attack air into Keeper of Air if you can avoid it. I'm thinking goes back to Manicured Garden. You do not want to risk Shameful or Upholding. At this point, passes Conflict Opportunity. Okay, interesting. I mean, I would have thought about attacking with Kaizen because Kaizen can always leave. He's just so weak militarily. He's only 2. So unless it Yoshi blocks, and that's a win. You can always just get Kaizen to just like leave, right? Um, I mean, that might end up getting you an honored Yoshi who favorable grounds out. So I guess that's not great. It's a tricky situation. Yeah. So Zarzuckett's going to take the 2 Fate Air Ring. Can't pass that up with Yoshi. Yeah, he does play 3 Duel to Death, Christian. Yeah, 3 Duel to Death, 3 Noble Sack. Okay, so Yoshi's rolling in 7 strength. Gotta think Kozanobu's going to block this to stop the reaction. And also make it harder to just break your pilgrimage, which would be your 3rd break of the game. Alright, it's not a triggered reaction, so it can't be blanked. Can't be blanked by the dojo. Oh, we see a big defense. We see Kawanin blocking on political, which is definitely not something I don't think that, or at least, oh, on void too. Whoa, nobody likes 2 Fate Earth Rings for jumps. We see duelist. Okay, so duelist training. So Kawanin's gonna go for the bow the old-fashioned way. So Yoshi can stick it out, and he's got 12 cards, probably lots of tricks, or he can just Fable Ground out. Or yeah. Yep, Fable Ground's out. So got a big defense of Pilgrimage, so no real province trigger or anything. We see a formal invitation come down on court games. Ooh. What's okay? Oh boy. Okay, so we see court games. This honors the Kozanobu. Are we going to see Noble Sakon's Kozanobu? Or I find the formal invitation's an interesting one. We see above question. Oh, come down on Kozanobu. So do we have a calling in favors to answer that? Yoshi gets the way of the crane. Okay. Goes back in. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. So he wanted to get the way of the crane off to prevent the bow, or make the bow a lot harder anyway. Um, so now we have 5/5 military on the bow. So Yoshi's coming back. Now he's breaking with the +1 from the favor and +1 from the formal invitation. Kawana doesn't have any easy way to bow this Yoshi at this point. Although he could just, you know, attempting it is kind of tricky. It's like a true duel, equal, and he gets to honor his character, and so he probably bid 5 into that, I guess, just to get his honor, but that seems pretty expensive. But would prevent the break and the ring activation. We'll see if Switzerland can come up with a military pump or a political, either way. Any kind of pump here. Oh, sorry, Red Rabbit used. Oh, whoa, okay, back this up. So now all of a sudden this makes a lot more sense. Well, okay, it's still confusing, but it's very different than what I thought it was. Formalization came down from Switzerland's crane, so top crane put on Yoshi and pulled Yoshi back into the conflict. You don't always want to get Yoshi into conflicts, but there you go. And then Red Rabbit pulled Yoshi in. So Zarzuckett plays calling in favors to get the duelist training back on to. So we're not gonna bow Yoshi after a fine katana comes down on Kwanin. No more fate, so another duelist training is not going to come down. Still breaking. So that's, yeah, it's an interesting situation for Switzerland Crane because they spent a card to get this Yoshi back in. And yeah, it's breaking it, yeah. So for shame. Oh, defend your honor versus Kwan. Okay, so that's a 5 to 7 to defend your honor. So Zarzuckett played the defend your honor to be down by 2. Okay, so both bid 3. So the defend your honor is cancelled. Yoshi gets dishonored. So there's no boxes here. Oh yeah, that's right. There's no Kozanubu cancels all the boxes, so the Kakita Dojo is not going to help get this. Oh, Yoshi honored again. So I mean, there's lots of things we can still see, Way of the Cranes and etc. But I think court game's already been played. So Gossip is played on what exactly? Story defeat. Okay, makes sense. Triple story defeat in the deck for Switzerland, and Yoshi has lost a duel. Defend your honor. Plus, well, there's no fate. Story defeat. It's not going to be able to dishonor him, which would be super strong. But stop the bow. But this is, I mean, the void effect's not going to go off unless Yoshi comes up with another pump. So I guess Canadian Crane does have another one in hand to try to go for the break here and the ring effect. Otherwise, this is really just, I mean, bowing the Yoshi is just claiming the ring for favor. So I don't know if I'd even spend a story defeat on that as Switzerland. For shame can bow the Kozanobu, yeah. No, I don't think for shame. For shame takes out 2. Oh, for shame on Kawanin, yeah. For shame on Kawanin would do it. Yep, you're right. Dishonors Kawanin, or more likely disbows Kawanin. Okay, Soul Beyond Reproach. Now we go for the break. Yeah, so there was 3 Soul Beyond Reproach and 2 more Way of the Cranes. I think that would potentially, yeah, could have potentially done this. We see a new name come down to stop the break. Return the offense. It's gonna go through for sure. 10 to 5. So we got a big military attack. Can come back and break this province next time around. Why doesn't? Oh, I was gonna say, why not get your field house back or your I guess you can want to use the tea house. So yeah, I suppose you don't need your formal limitation. You can get your duelist training back maybe with the tea house. So Kaizen. I mean, if we see 2 Fate Earth Ring pass up twice, people, then it's got to be some kind of record, some sort of like you've seen it here first type thing. Because if Kaizen attacks Mill, I mean, he's okay, right? He's 2, but he can be stopped by either one of these characters. Probably, maybe not. Oh, there we go. There we go. Can't pass that thing up again. I mean, water's awfully tempting, for sure. Definitely, given your situation, but yeah, water would be pretty good. Water would be pretty good. There might be a conflict character, uh, which might have as much strength as Kaizen does. Currently at only 2 mil, so or close to it. Hawk Tattoo. No, I don't. I didn't see a Hawk Tattoo in the deck. I see a Tattoo Wanderer, which might be in hand. Tattoo Wanderer has a good chance of being in hand. Ancient Master. So either one of them is pretty close to what Kaizen is on defense. So if you can force the defender, get the Fate to pay for your conflict character, it's kind of better in a way. Wow, no, actually no. Standing up Kawana, but you were never gonna probably. Well, it's tough to say. It's tough to say because you are in your third break. That's the big problem. If it was second break, I'd say for sure just let it go. But third break is pretty tough. You are giving your opponent a Fate though from the trigger. Unless you can get the break here. Tattoo Wonder comes down on offense to go for the break. Because what was it? 5, 7, the duelist duels. Yeah, yeah. I mean, be awfully tough for this Tattoo Wonder to stop on defense anyway. So the Voice of Honor goes okay. Be pretty big, down to 4 cards. Um, 2 Fate. Zarzuckett may just leave the Air Ring for a 3 Fate Air Ring next turn, and grab Fire maybe. Dishonor the Kawanin. Set him up for some bridge action. Oh, opts not to go for the, I guess 4 cards. He just opts to go for the. Interesting. Chad, I feel like he's thinking. I mean, you could have taken both characters into the pilgrimage, right? I guess you're risking another conflict character and some cards played to stop you. But okay, I guess his hand is not super good. I guess you take maybe the soul or the return defense. Maybe the return defense. Yeah, I was a little confused by avoiding pilgrimage myself there. Um, I mean, you're only going to lose 1 card because you're down to so few cards, but the fire ring goes off. Your opponent knows you don't have a noble sack, but there's still, so you haven't seen one yet. So you're going to draw a quarter of your deck, and there's 3 of them in there. Kawanin needs to get honored real fast. Um, and first player is, so we have a 10 strength, 10 political Yoshi barreling into um, Switzerland Crane's deck. The stronghold will be Smuggler's Cove, most likely, which is not going to be helpful at all. So yeah, so things look good for Canada and for Scorpion Splash Crane here. Let's see what kind of defense. Oh, that's not what Switzerland wanted to see on the flop here. So you can dupe Kanozonobu and buy a one coster. Uh, I don't think Canada Crane is going to be nice enough to give him a Season of War here because he can buy a Kawanin and a Brash Samurai. So the Soul Romp Beyond Reproach was pushed. So that's even. So now we know that there's a return the offense in hand. So you can make a big political attack, and if for some reason doesn't win that way, you can return the offense on Yoshi and come back for like a big military attack too. We have a duelist with a duelist training and a Kiri Dojo. on a good spot. I think, I mean, yeah, it's looking really bad for Switzerland here. We see Bash Samurai. Oh, Red Rabbit dupes Kozanobu. I don't know if I would even do that. Maybe. Guess it leaves you a little weak to void, but you could take the passing fate instead if you think you can win. So given this 8 strength Kwanin, I'm guessing that it's a political. Zar goes in for, I mean, air. Why not? It's really hard to beat 3 fate. Air political. And then you can defend with everyone but say, I mean, defend with everyone. I mean, you kind of want to grab that water ring the way back, but maybe you have conflict characters. Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, Christian. I agree too that Marcus Shame is just really, really rough on Crane. So even if it's their brothers in arms, dumping it on them, it's still bad. Yeah, defending with Kozanobu is, you're right, and he represents what, 2 political? I guess you could let him, you could leave him back. Wow, but it's an honor for both sides. I mean, you could leave him back for to try to snag the water ring. I don't know. I mean, you just try to stay alive, I guess. But the board's not going to get much better for you next turn. You have a big card advantage. That's the one thing that Switzerland's got on their side, and they actually got 4 fate, additional 4 fate too. But 2 breaks behind is pretty huge, and a lot less skill on board. I mean, this Yoshi alone, 10 plus favors 11. 1, 3, 5. So 5 political in total on. So Yoshi's breaking Smuggler's Cove by himself. Yeah, no proving ground too. Yeah. So what from Zarzuckett? I mean, all in if he just wants to push this, or you can just go Yoshi and Dazzling Duelist for a pretty big push. Oh, Kawanin too. Okay. Because Kawanin, if Kozanobu doesn't block, okay, Smuggler's Cove. Yeah. I mean, I guess you could leave someone back, see how it goes, and move him in with Smuggler's Cove. Okay, so Kozanobu is going in, so there'll be no proving grounds, no. So 15 to 5. Okay. We do have a courtier, 2 courtiers there. We know there's an assassination in the we know there's an assassination in the deck. I don't know if that really matters. Okay, so the second above question comes down on Kawanin. So the 2 larger characters are protected, barring another calling in favors, but still needs at least 6 strength swing here. Yeah, the Cal is going to eat the return defense for sure. Yeah, which means the mill crackback is going to be gigantic as well. No, it's a super uphill battle for Spain here, but let's see what their 6 extra cards can do. I mean, I'm guessing Canada Crane just passes here and just keep passing until you're not winning. Which is gonna be oh, okay, so Zarzuckett passes. Yeah, let's see what Switzerland's Crane has got going on. I mean, technically you can move Kozanobu out as well, but see Gossip being played. Blind Gossip can be played for return defense, I guess. He knows he has return defense and a assassination, and okay, defend your honor. Stop. Okay, Calo delegates are no match for Kawanins, so that doesn't. Gossip is stopped. There's gonna be no gossiping. There's a lot of storied defeats in the deck. So if you can force through one duel, any duel, here, you might get a bow and a dishonor on a key character. That might be a reason to play the return the offense early. Dojo is going to attempt to blank Yoshi. Oh, let's try. Well, Yoshi only has one more character to dishonor here, but so story okay, so one voice of honor comes down to cancel one story defeat. So we get a duelist training on Kawanin. 7, 5. Okay. Oof. A lot of honor to force through these duels, for sure. I mean, we know there's a return the offense, so Zarzuckett might have multiple ways. I mean, you could just return the. Well, then he could go for bowing the other one, but you could return the offense. Your Yoshi, if you don't want it to get bowed, and it is still just Yoshi is still breaking by himself, regardless of what happens to Kawanin. Okay. Oh, we see a second story defeat, and a second voice of honor. So I think that's the fourth cancel played. 1, 2, no, 3. Oh no, voice of honor was taken by Earthring. It was lost by an Earthring. So 2 defend your honors gone. 3 defend your honors. So all the cancels are gone actually. But on pretty key cards, we see. It's gonna try to bow Yoshi with the duelist training. Bids to win. That will take him down to 1 honor at the end of the turn. No, 0 honor at the end of the turn. Given that this air wing wins, so if this air wing goes through, then it could be a loss of dishonor by the end of the turn. Barring anything else, I'm sure Kaiden can get honored somehow. Discards cards, right? That thing about duelist training that everyone always forgets. So you can discard cards. So he discards a Let Go, Ancient Master, and a Voice of Honor. I mean, outside the Ancient Master, it's pretty dead cards in this matchup. So we're almost. So we're now okay. Now I'm not breaking. Zarzuckett plays Kawanin versus Kalu Delegates. That's going to go through. So Kawanin's still standing, meaning that the military kickback's going to be real strong. Yep, you'll go for sure. It's an easy one to forget, but good catch there. You definitely can check away cards you're not using, which he had a number of dead ones in this particular conflict. Okay, Kawanin gets a formal invitation. Okay, put on him. All right, so you can move in to what exactly? You can move in if Switzerland Crane makes a political conflict. Oh, he has a duelist training on it. Oh, but he already used it. Not entirely sure where he would want to move in. Guess he's a courtier. Okay, I'm guessing Water with a Fate. Attempt to get a much better defender here. It's going to be uphill battle. I mean, both the Dazzling Duelist and the Brash Samurai can definitely handle this Kawanin as it stands. Going into an unknown province. It is the market of Kazi-no-Gamis. Oh, poor Kaizen. Eats the bow. And the Ancient Master got discarded, unfortunately, for the... Oh, yes, the Ancient Master got discarded to pay for the duelist training. So, just in case, the Brash Samurai defends anyway, honors itself up. Smuggler's Cove has not been used yet. I don't think it matters, but... I, but didn't the duelist training... Did I miss something? The duelist training was used to bow Yoshi, right? So, I don't think bringing... Oh, it's a mill attack, of course, duh. He has his own ability. Yeah, it was political before. Yep, you're right. He can Smuggler's Cove in. Smugglers wasn't triggered yet. So you can Smugglers in and disbow... Oh, we see a Tessin come down. So bowing the other Quanin would probably be the biggest thing if he doesn't get pumped. Although he's 5'2", so regardless, you're still going to have 7. But yeah, Smuggling Cove of Quanin is a definite possibility. But you'll have to come up with something else to stop. So the Tessin being pretty big here to get this additional 5 into this conflict. Smuggler's Cove is breaking to move in Kawanin. Guess you Kawanin the Kawanin. I would think, just because that's the place to invest more attachments, but Brash Samurai is also potential, yeah. Okay, still breaking. Needs to come up with 3 military to stop this. Specifically a conflict character. No assassinations, so that would do it too, but for shame, no, wouldn't be enough. Double for shame, might be. Discards the duelist training, meaning I'm conflict character Bonsai coming in here. But there's a Kakita Dojo, so if you discard the what you call it, return the offense, okay. Oh, for proving grounds, okay, sure. I guess just doing a proving grounds. No, but what? 4 to 3. So the Brash Samurai does not bow as a result. And Doji Kwane cannot be readied. But he gets honored. Okay, so this is all to honor Kawanin, so you can do the policy debate this time. Sees the hand. There's a noble sack, assassination, and duel to the death. Nothing that's going to help in this conflict. So if Switzerland Crane does have a way to stop this, well, obviously the assassination could help if he's going to drop a conflict character, but I'm still kind of not seeing how he's going to come up with 5 strength to protect this break. Another return the offense. So he's going to get another card. Okay, he's drawing cards with the cards he has in hands, kind of cycling cards to come up with a way. He obviously doesn't like what he got because he's laughing. Maybe he got another return the offense. Yeah, so no hope. Okay, so I think Switzerland's thrown in the towel. Well played by both opponents. Mirrors are obviously tough and really uphill battle, I think, for Dragon Splash against Scorpion Splash. So we'll play it on both sides. Thanks everyone for watching. I had a lot of fun casting it. I hope you had a lot of fun watching these two games. Watch all the Discord you can. It's World Cup. It's great. Okay. See everyone later.